Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man.
Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your number one source for all things Marvel and other movies. My name is Elijah, and ever since Disney acquired Fox earlier this year, there's been a lot of speculation as to what Disney is planning on doing with the characters that they've acquired from the Fox-Disney merge. Now, we know that there's a lot of speculation as to whether or not Disney plans on taking these characters and either rebooting them fresh to enter the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or keeping some of the characters that are already existing and finding different ways to work them into the MCU. Now, one of these characters that is massively popular easily is Deadpool. His first two movies performed extremely well, and there's really no surprise that Disney already has shown interest in wanting to take this character and somehow find a way to incorporate him into the MCU, either by giving him his own movies continuing forward under Disney's production, and also having him do team-up movies like the Avengers in the future. However, this would set up the MCU in a very different fate, as it would look like Deadpool would be possibly the first R-rated character in the MCU, which would be a pretty big change from the history that the MCU has developed over the past 11 years. Now, while we're not ruling out the possibility of Disney putting out an R-rated film as they've done it before, it would be very different from what we would expect. And if they do plan on bringing Ryan Reynolds on board, he has major influence as to what they can do with this character or what he's willing to participate in, and he would have to sign on for a brand new contract under Disney if they decide to move forward with making more Deadpool movies. Not to say that he would completely rule out the possibility, or possibly we could even look at the chance that Disney would be willing to work on a PG-13 version of Deadpool 3, and that's something that Ryan Reynolds has actually expressed interest in doing, just because he thought it would be not only a challenge, but something he could really do in a funny and different way that hadn't been done before, especially because he's gotten the chance to explore a lot of things in the first two films already, and he's willing to try different things out. Now, it's looking like this deal actually was able to come together, or is still in the process of coming together, unlike other deals that Marvel has been faced with recently, so we're optimistic to see what they end up trying to do with Deadpool and how they're going to bring him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's a lot of speculation out there that maybe they'll do something with the time travel gimmick that was prevalent at the end of Deadpool 2, and maybe tie that into what's going on with Endgame, as there was time travel there too, and maybe we'll see some sort of universes collide where Deadpool is just dropped off in this other universe. Maybe there'll be no commentary, or maybe Deadpool will just break the fourth wall and make some joke about it, and honestly, it could work there too. But we still have so many other things about Deadpool and Deadpool 3 that we're really curious about moving forward as to what's going to happen with this film and who will be in it. They already really established Cable as this antagonistic character in Deadpool 2, and it worked out really well, and they had a lot of really interesting antagonists along the way, but moving forward, it's looking like they're going to have to try to pull out all of the stops to keep fans interested in Deadpool 3, especially if they're going for a PG-13 route, which has to be done really well and will have to have a great cast of characters along the way to make it interesting. Now, there are reports floating around that Disney is considering other casting options outside of things that they've possibly thought of before, and even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's name has been passed around a little bit, according to several different media outlets, as a possible character who could star in an upcoming Deadpool film, whether he's a side character or an antagonist. It would be really interesting, especially because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's already signed up to play Black Adam in the DCEU, has kind of thrown some shade at the MCU in the past, but it doesn't necessarily rule out the possibility he's willing to work with Disney and the MCU moving forward, especially because he's worked on Disney projects before, and he seems to have a pretty good relationship with all of the studios along the way. As to which villain Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would be good at playing, it's really up in the air, or whether he'd be a good sidekick, but honestly, for a comedic film, some of the comedies that The Rock has appeared in have been really great, and he has some really awesome moments and can really blend well with different types of actors. It'd be really cool to see what he does with Ryan Reynolds moving forward. Now, as to the other existing characters in the Deadpool franchise, we really don't know who would come back or if any of the other characters outside of Deadpool himself would be able to return for other films in this new production company surrounding the MCU, but it's something we definitely are interested in. There was a lot of controversy around some other actors that were in the films, and we don't know if Disney wants to have to deal with that controversy moving forward, and they might want to clean some of their hands from that and just start fresh with Ryan Reynolds, who can handle the job well enough. But it'd also be interesting to see what they end up doing with Deadpool moving forward and what type of role he would have in the Avengers. Seeing him team up with some existing characters in the MCU could be really interesting, and we're really curious to see what they do in the future. But we wanted to turn this around to you guys and see what you guys are thinking. But guys, what did you think? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on, and we'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
I'm about to.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.
Know anybody?